Here we go, FM19 first look. I'm really excited about this. Taking over Stoke City for 2 weeks only. Let's get back in the Premiership. Welcome to FM19 and welcome to Stoke. And say hello to my baby who's here with me. As you can see, I'm not going to let anything put me off. I've got FM to play, but the baby won't sleep. So the baby has to play FM. That's just the way we're doing things around here now. A little bit of background around this. So essentially, I'm a Stoke fan, as you may or may not know. You probably do if you've watched any of my videos before. I go on about it enough. Because we've been shit recently. I wasn't even going to do it. I wasn't even going to do a team for the beta. And I hate managing Stoke on Football Manager because it's too close to the bone. It's too... When I lose a game in Football Manager as Stoke, it hurts. like it hurts in real life. So I wasn't going to do it, but I thought, let's get to know FM19 by choosing a team that I know, players that I know, and get to know the new features whilst also kind of feeling relatively comfortable in some ways with the team that I'm managing. So the other thing about Stoke that you probably already do know is that they got relegated last season from the Premiership. So we're in the Championship, and we were kind of odds-on favourites to go straight back up, but started off the season incredibly badly. Pulled back a little bit in real life, this is obviously, and got a few wins under our belts, and things are starting to come together. But it's far from perfect. So again, this was another thing that inspired me to just think, right, well, fuck it, let's do one for the beta. Let's do a Stoke save for the beta, and let's just see if we can get Stoke back into the Premiership. So there's a couple of things I'm going to do for the beta. I'm going to leave Mark Cartwright in position. He is the director of football at Stoke City. He is a source of much controversy in real life. It seems that he goes around signing who he wants without asking the manager. So we're going to see if he does the same in this save. Speaking of which, I'm going to try not to be too influenced by real life. So I have, gripes with certain players and certain formations and certain things that managers have done in the past. I'm going to try not to be influenced by that. I'm going to try and take each player as they come, look at them on face value, apart from Bojan, who's in the team every time. So, let's get into it. As you can see, G takes charge at Stoke. G makes me sound like a gangster, doesn't it? Jim G. G is said to be delighted at the chance to be involved in the day-to-day management at the Bet365 Stadium. Oh, God, I hate the Bet365 Stadium. I don't hate it, but I hate the name, the Bet365 Stadium. It's so tacky, isn't it? The Britannia Stadium wasn't much better. What happened to the old Victoria Ground, That's what I want to know. I hate these stadiums that are named after, brands. It's so infuriating. Just call it something decent. Call it like Stanley Matthews Stadium or something, for God's sake. Anyway, rant over. So here we go. Welcome from Peter Coates. And Peter Coates here has said, Director of Football Mark Cartwright is responsible for offloading players either permanently or on loan that you've placed on the unwanted development lists. He is actually also going to be responsible for signings because that's what he is kind of in real life. But let's have a quick look at Mark Cartwright. Look at the state of him. So, Director of Football, 45 years old. Judging player ability 10, so it's not great. Judging player potential 11. Look at him, he's come from Runcorn. He was a player at Runcorn, a player at Leek. Player at Leek, Jesus, let's have a look at Leek. Northern Premier Division 1. Leek's quite close to Stoke. Livingston, Alsager, Colwyn Bay, and then how the hell did he suddenly become Director of Football at Stoke from goalkeeping coach at Colwyn Bay? The guy's a joke. We've also got Kevin Phillips as a coach, which is interesting. And also as coaches, let's have a look at the staff we should have. Let's go back to this coaching team. We should also have, where is he? There he is. The god of Stoke himself. Long throw specialist, Rory Delap. If only we could impart his long throws onto somebody. I'm invited to attend a meeting. I'm not gonna go through the meeting now because it's just gonna bore you. Well, I will go through the meeting now, but not on camera. Then I'll come back and we'll have a look at some stuff like tactics. We'll have a look at some of the players and we'll get to know Stoke City. So here's a bit of information about Stoke's new signings and transfer obligations. So this is a report about the club's recent signings and what's been happening in the transfer market. We did quite a lot of business since leaving the Premiership. Few players left, or quite a few players left. notably people like Xherdan Shaqiri and Ramadan Sobhi, players like that. We've also got a few that have gone out on loan, like Jeff Cameron, Ginelli Mbula, Badou Ndiaye, both of which, Badou Ndiaye and Ginelli Mbula, are very, very good players, and for some reason fell out of favour with, well, every manager that Stoke has had in the last couple of years, really weirdly, and I don't understand why. Kevin Wimmer has gone, thank God. Absolute waste of space. I said I wasn't going to be influenced by real life. I can't help it. Kevin Wimmer, bell end. Benik Afobe, striker, very good player. He's actually probably one of the best strikers that Stoke have had for a very long time, actually, which is strange, you know, seeing as we could have done with him probably when we were in the Premiership. Ryan Woods, he's been an amazing player for Stoke in real life. He strengthened up the midfield as a kind of defensive midfielder, and he allowed people like Joe Allen to roam with the ball a little bit and get a little bit more creative. Federici, goalkeeper, he will obviously be second to Jack Butland, who's still in the squad at the time of speaking. Atebo, the Nigerian midfielder, who featured in my Nigeria save, actually, but also you may remember him from the World Cup for kind of running rings round Messi. Tom Ince has been amazing for us in real life, and he looks like a really good player. He's got decent potential ability there. It looks like 3.5 stars, actually. I would have thought that might be a little bit more. But also other things like long shots, 15, dribbling, 16. We're going to get him on free kicks, I think. Sam Clucas, James McLean, Ashley Williams we got on loan from Everton. He's a good backup. He's very similar to Ryan Shawcross, I'd say, actually, at this point, towards the end of his career. But Shawcross is slowing down pace-wise. Yeah, 8, you see. Williams is slowing down as well. We've got a very slow defence, and we'll get onto that in a minute. We've got Cuco Martina on loan as well. He's a useful player on the right wing back. And that's about it for now for those new signings and transfer obligations. We should probably go and have a look at the Stoke City background. I've just realised that she's really close to the microphone, so you can probably just hear heavy breathing. It's not me, it's her. So apologies for that. Stoke City, a background. For those who don't know, Stoke City was formed in 1863. Professional English club playing in the Championship. Suffered relegation from the Premier Division last season. Play from the Bet365 Stadium, affectionately known as the Potters. And our main rivals are Port Vale. Ugh. Arsenal, boo. And Crew. Adequate junior coaching, average youth recruitment. We've been incredibly successful in the past. Look, 2 Sky Bet Championships, 1 Sky Bet League One, 1 Carabao Cup, although I don't think it was called the Carabao Cup back in 1972, which is when we won it. 2 Checkatrade trophies. Not many clubs can say that, can they? And an English 3rd Division North. We're rolling in trophies. Our trophy cabinet is overflowing. And I like here this little detail. Stoke, who were arguably at their best during the 1930s, they're a club with proud history. We were at our best in the 1930s. Strengths, crossing, very good crossers. Goalkeeper depth, Jack Butland is one of 3 players available to play in goal. England international goalkeeper. Okay, he's dropped down with Stoke, but he could be playing for any... I honestly believe he could be playing for any top 6 Premiership team, and I honestly believe that. I've got really serious face as I'm saying it. Because we're talking about Stoke, it's like, I really believe it. Don't challenge me on this. The team possesses a high level of anticipation. That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? Joe Allen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, we've got a few things. We've got a few youth prospects, good technique, good on corners, finishing quite good. And this was quite a long list, actually. Look at this. Look at where this bar is. There's still more to go. High level of flair. I mean, this is for the division, isn't it? So, there's a lot of stuff that we're good at, but some of our weaknesses are actually pretty important things. So there's not a great deal of depth outside the first team squad, only 5 million left in the transfer budget. That doesn't matter because I'm going to be trying to emulate real life as much as possible, so I'm not going to be making any signings. Mark Cartwright's going to be doing that for us. Not the best squad in terms of positioning, isn't the best squad in terms of acceleration, isn't the best squad in terms of stamina, isn't the best squad in terms of pace. Now, these things are stuff that worry me here. So positioning, acceleration, stamina and pace, all pretty important in the Championship because the Championship is an incredibly competitive league. Very, very, very scary. speaking of the Championship, let's have a look at this. So this shows us a comparison of how we rate compared to other teams in the Championship. First off, let's just have a look at goalkeepers. Now, I would have thought this is pretty good because we've got Jack Butland and Adam Federici, and it is kicking, handling, one-on-ones, all highest. So we are the best in the Championship at that. The only thing that's quite low here is throwing. Doesn't really matter. Defence. Now, this is the worry, and this is the main worry for Stoke in real life, and it's going to be a challenge for me, especially because I'm not going to be signing anyone. And in fact, I might have a look in the youth squads for some potential replacements here. But if we look down here, pace and acceleration are low. They are below average. What's this? Positioning is below average as well here, which is bad for a defender. Jumping reach is average, which some people might find surprising because I think a lot of people still think of Stoke as this big, tall team that are just brutes in the box, like smashing the ball into the box and scoring from headers and stuff. Well, those days are gone, really, and they haven't really been replaced with anything, unfortunately. So, yeah, we've let's go on to midfield because this kind of explains it a little bit more. What seems to have happened is we've acquired lots of midfielders, but we don't really know how to play them in real life. So this is going to be my task to sort of take these midfielders, decide which ones we need to play for a start, because it's very hard to leave some of them out of the team. It looks pretty good on face value there. What's this? Technique is above average and very close to best in the league. Tackling is below average though, so defensively in the midfield we've always struggled. Let's have a look at the attack. Oh, now look at this. Our attack, we are have the worst acceleration. I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all, but, it's strange that we've got quite good pace, above average pace, but the worst acceleration. So we can run okay, but it takes us forever to get up to pace. Highest off the ball, though, which is great, and the highest finishing in the league, so that's also great. We just need to make sure that our players are in the right place and they don't have to run to the ball, it looks like. Heading below average, despite having Peter Crouch. Physicals, acceleration below average, pace below average. So we know that we've got a fairly slow team. Stamina and balance, both below average. Yeah, we should probably be looking at the positives rather than negatives, but it's easy to just see these down here and think, oh God, what's this? Positioning below average. But yeah, I don't know. Off the ball is the highest in the Premiership. Anticipation is the high in the Championship. I've got to get used to that. And anticipation is the highest in the Championship. Technically, we're very good as well. Corners, crossing, technique. Probably going to be looking to get some crosses in. Who are these players that are going to get us back into the Premiership? Well, first off, perhaps one of our most important players and someone we'll be looking to keep hold of is Jack Butland. Jack is a great goalkeeper, and he will be our first choice goalkeeper forever. This is an area of weakness. Defence, central defenders. We've got 3, 4 who can play in central defence there. They're not great either, to be honest. Ashley Williams on loan, who we've spoken about already, who is quite slow. He's okay, but he's quite slow. He's very slow. Ryan Shawcross. Ryan Shawcross is actually faster than Ashley Williams. He's a good player. He is a good player. He's an underrated player, I think, in kind of the grand scheme of things. For us, I mean, we're probably going to have to play him. He's coming to the end of his career, and he's only going to get worse, probably. But Kevin Wimmer is out on loan, and he's a bell end, so we're going to forget about him. You see, I said I wasn't going to be influenced by real life. I know, but Kevin Wimmer triggers me. The guy's an absolute tit. And I'll tell you why, actually. I'll come back to this now and I'll tell you why. Because you're probably thinking, why has he got such a problem with Kevin Wimmer? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he came to us for around 15 million. He played so badly. It was just beyond shit. He was just terrible. And every Stoke fan was just thinking, who is this guy that we've signed? Because we actually knew him from Tottenham, and we knew that he looked like a decent-ish player. But for some reason, he just couldn't play for us. Further to that, he then added insult to injury by behaving like a prick off the pitch and tweeting stupid things and acting like he didn't give a shit and just making a total tit of himself, basically. He's on loan, so he can stay there for all I care. So there you go. If you're watching, Kevin, I shouldn't say anything scary to you because you could probably beat me up. Okay, Martins Indy. Bruno Martins Indy, Dutch international defender. He's okay. He's probably, because he's only 26, I mean, Ryan Shawcross is probably our best defender, but he's kind of second to Ryan Shawcross. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's about equal to Ryan Shawcross, but he's a little bit younger, essentially. As far as fullbacks go, on the right, we've got Moritz Bauer. Moritz Bauer is an Austrian. He's a great player. Again, in real life, he's fallen out with the manager for some reason. I don't know why. Jeff Cameron's out on loan, so we can forget him. Eric Peters on the left. Now, we spoke about getting crosses in. We spoke about the fact that we're one of the best teams in the league at crossing. Well, it can't be because of Eric Peters, although let's see what he is. What his rating is here, 9. That should be lower. He is turd in real life. Cuco Martina, decent right back. Again, it's a bit of a shame he's not a left back because I could play him instead of Eric Peters. In fact, he might be able... Oh yeah, we can play him on the left maybe instead of Eric Peters. Mame Diouf, now look at this. That's interesting, isn't it? Look where they've put Mame Diouf down there. Attacking midfielder right, defender wing back midfield right, attacking midfielder left centre. They're saying the guy can play everywhere. Now, he can't really. This is actually his favoured position up front here. This is where he's come from. This is his background. All this shit, this is not because he's like an amazing player in those positions. This is because of fucking Mark Hughes, who decided, I don't know what I'm doing. Darren Fletcher. What do I say about Darren Fletcher? The only thing I can really say is, used to be good, now he's shit. Charlie Adam, get out. Go away. Joe Allen. Now, Joe Allen is an enigma as well, because Joe Allen is a good player, but for some reason, he hasn't been performing in real life. And I think it's because he's been expected to do too many things. He's been expected to defend, he's been expected to attack, he's been expected to just essentially run the midfield on his own. And he doesn't know how to do that. It seems he needs very specific roles. Interestingly, Ryan Woods is now listed next. So Ryan Woods is the person who came along. We've spoke about him before. But he's the person who came along and freed up Joe Allen in real life to be able to move forward and play his natural game. Sam Clucas, decent midfielder. Probably would play him on the left. He's a good option to have there. Atebo, really, really good sort of attacking midfielder. Central midfielder, he can do it all, and the way he played in the World Cup was just ridiculous. He was really good. Tom Ince, he's probably second or third name on the team sheet for me. On the right, if we end up playing wingers, that is, he will be good as it says it there, inside forward. He cuts inside, and then he's got a really good left foot to get a shot off. So he's a good player. And then the man himself. The man who will never be left out of one of my teams while he's fit. Bojan Krkić Perez. This guy, I've got a bit of a crush on him. I think all Stoke fans have. He's stuck with us despite being treated like crap by the club, essentially. And he's just such a good player. To see him playing for Stoke, it's like, it reminds me a little bit of when Tunchai played for Stoke. And he was like a player, just an incredible flair player who has just such skill, but for some reason doesn't get on with the manager. But yeah, and also, he's the same height as me and about the same weight as me, so yeah, let's get him in there. Ooh, and here, Saido Berahino. It was about 900 or something hours he went without scoring. Yeah, you can see down here the whole of last season, played 28 games and scored no goals. It just seemed he was never ever going to score. But he has scored in real life, and again, we're not going to be influenced by real life. We're going to take him on face value. And he's got 14 dribbling, 14 finishing, 15 first touch, which is not too bad. He could be playing up there for us somewhere. He's probably not going to be getting the likes of Benik Afobe out of the squad though, because I think Afobe's a little bit better. But if we go for 3 up front or something like that, maybe he'll be in and around our squad. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be a saga. Let's get into it. The tactics. Now we're going to go through the tactics induction just because I haven't done this new tactics creation thing before. And I think it'd be quite nice to start with one of the preset tactical styles as our base and go from there. So let's go into take the induction. So what do we think we want to do? Now, bear in mind we're in the Championship, but also bear in mind we've got the slowest backline in the world. And also bear in mind that the Championship is not as weak as you might think, despite the fact that we were relegated last season and you might think, oh, we should be better. We're not better. We're not very good. So I think we need to do something like perhaps a counter-attack, perhaps a direct counter-attack rather than a fluid one, although we do have some decent flair players. Let's have a quick look at this. So, a fluid counter-attack looks to draw the opposition forward and leave them vulnerable on the break. Players will be fluid on the counter, trying to combine with each other and carry the ball with clear intent. That backline's moving quite a lot more than I would hope. Okay, that looks okay. Let's try direct counter-attack. What's the difference? Direct counter-attack draws the opposition forward and leave them vulnerable on the break. Players will look to move the ball forward as quickly as possible on the counter-attack to exploit spaces in behind. Yeah, maybe we go with direct in fact. Although fluid, we do have the flair players. Yeah, no, I'm going to go with direct for now. I think direct is the best way to go in this case. I don't really want to do any of these formations though. 4-4-2, 4-1-4-1, DM wide. Let's have a look at these. No. 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 And you know why I'm saying no is because I'm thinking of Bojan, and he could be there. Maybe we do try that. Maybe we do try a 4-4-1-1. Let's go for a 4-4-1-1. Let's just go for it. We can always create another tactic later on. We can always tweak it as well. So here we go. This is the new stuff as well. So we've got in possession, in transition, and out of possession. So in possession are for when your team have the ball, surprisingly. These will define how wide the team plays, how they approach attacking situations, and what they're going to do in the final third approaching the goal. Okay, fine. In transition, defines situations where your players either lose possession or win it back, as well as when the goalkeeper has the ball. Okay. Out of possession, you need to set your defensive line's position well low, as well as how aggressively you intend to mark, press, and tackle the opposition to recover the ball. So I'm thinking here we don't want to be pressing, and we want a low defensive line with the pace of our players. So that might be something that I tweak quickly. Last thing you need to do is pick the starting lineup. Okay, so they've just picked a random one for us, which actually is not too bad, apart from a couple of things there. What's this? Yeah, roles. Yeah, we know about that already. Come on, let me get out of here. Team fluidity. Yeah, this is another thing. Team fluidity reflects the shape and structure of the team based on the roles and duties selected. Now, you used to be able to choose this in FM18. Now, it just does it automatically based on the formation and the tactical style that you choose. So at the moment, mine was classed as fluid, it looks like. Okay, so how do I get back to that tactic? Oh, I can't because I'm on this still. The positions and roles assigned to your players will determine the team's fluidity, and it's up to you to decide. Yeah, okay. So how do I get back to see that tactic? Here we go. Right, so this is what we've got here. Now, the only thing I wanted to do was take that defensive line a little bit lower. I think that's all I want to do in that situation, actually. Now, the second thing I want to do is get rid of Wimmer, get Shawcross in there. So Shawcross and Martins Indy in the centre, Bauer on the right, Peters on the left. I might do a second tactic that's a little bit more experimental, but I'll do that off camera because it will take just too long. Badouindai's out on loan, so we're not going to play him, and we definitely want a Tabo in there as well, if possible. So a Tabo and Allen in the centre, that's pretty good. Juve on the wing there. No, we don't want him. We want Tom Ince on the wing, although I don't think that's Tom Ince's ideal position. It doesn't really work an inverted winger that far back. I mean, he can do it. Let's try it, see if he can do it. Oh, well, they've already set it up as an inverted winger there, so actually, I think it was just set on a winger. So what I might do is just switch that round and just make it the opposite way round. So, in fact, yeah, they're both on automatic anyway. Tabo centre midfield support, and then we've got Bojan up there and Afobe. Shadow Striker's not the best for him. What are the others? Ganch, Prime Creator, joins midfield and attack. Yeah, come on. That's Bojan, through and through. So yeah, essentially that's going to be the basis of our formation, I think, to start with. I think that'll do for now. I think what I'm going to do is go away and I'm going to play... Oh, well, actually, no. Let's have a look at the schedule, because I'm going to go away and I'm going to play through... What are these all of our... Yeah, these are all the friendlies. So I'm going to play through all these friendlies, get a good idea of how this formation's working, and I'll come back for the Leeds game. So we'll play the Leeds game. I'll come back and I'll let you know how the formation went, what the results were, and whether I've made any changes or tweaks. It'll probably be a totally different formation. Whether Mark Cartwright has signed any interesting players or not, that'll be interesting to see. And who's been playing well and who's been playing bad and blah, 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 all that bollocks. We'll be back for the Leeds game. Wish me luck. So there you have it. Sorry about the length of this. Very long and drawn out process, setting up your team and going through the players and choosing who you're gonna chuck in the squad and everything. But you know, hopefully it was interesting to you, and hopefully you're going to come back for the next one, which is going to be the Leeds United game. And then we're going to pick probably sort of three-ish more games from the season to feature, and then we'll probably be into the full version of FM19, where we'll be managing Piacenza. I'm really looking forward to that, because I'm going to get super in-depth with that. There you have it, Stoke City, my team. It's a little bit worrying because I don't want to damage Stoke further. We've been through enough in the last couple of seasons. I don't want to drag us through even more crap. But I won't. Hopefully I won't, you know. I think I've learned a lot from FM18. And although I've seen people like Leon saying that you should forget everything you know about FM18 because it's a new game, that might make me better at this game. Who knows? But obviously, we're going for wins. We're going for Premiership. Automatic promotion would be amazing. But if we can't get that, I'm happy with going through the playoffs. Anything, you know, even finishing the last place, playoff place and getting through would be amazing, just to get us back into the Premiership. So, fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. And hopefully, she won't be here next time, and I'll be able to concentrate a little bit more, and you won't have heavy breathing down the microphone. So, leave a like, because, you know, what time is it? It's late. It's late at night. This is what I have to do now. I have to do this late at night, and I do it for you guys, and me, because I enjoy doing it. But I do it for you guys. Let's just say that. So leave a like, please. Subscribe, and I'll see you for the Leeds game.